Ever wonder what turns a simple fisherman into a fearsome pirate? The story of Somali pirates isn't what you see in the movies. It's a gripping tale of desperation, collapse, and the unexpected global consequences that followed. Let's dive into the untold story behind the headlines. It all started in 1991 when Somalia's government collapsed. The navy disappeared, leaving its long coastline completely unprotected. Suddenly, foreign supertrawlers swarmed in, illegally scooping up massive amounts of fish. Even worse, they used Somali waters as a dumping ground for toxic waste. The local fishing grounds were poisoned, the fish disappeared, and the livelihoods of entire coastal communities vanished. For these fishermen, it wasn't just an economic loss. It was a matter of survival. Their families were starving, and their environment was destroyed. What would you do in their shoes? They decided to fight back. Initially, these fishermen armed themselves to protect their waters, acting as a makeshift coast guard. They would board illegal vessels, demanding a tax for stealing their resources. But as their desperation grew, especially after the 2004 tsunami wiped out what little equipment they had left, their tactics evolved. Guarding their territory turned into a business model, hijacking commercial ships for ransom. This wasn't just a random act of crime, it was a calculated response to a crisis. For many young Somali men with no jobs and failing health from pollution, piracy became the most viable way to make a living. It was a path born from having no other choice. Soon, the world couldn't ignore them. The Gulf of Aden, one of the planet's busiest shipping lanes, became their hunting ground. The turning point was the 2009 hijacking of the Maersk Alabama, a story that captivated the world and put its captain, Richard Phillips, in the global spotlight. This high-profile attack showed just how audacious and organized the pirates had become. In response, naval forces from the US, Europe, and Asia descended on the region, creating international task forces to combat the threat. The quiet Somali coast had become a geopolitical hotspot. The economic ripple effects were massive. Somali piracy was costing the global economy billions each year in higher insurance premiums, increased shipping costs, and hefty ransom payments. But here's the paradox: that ransom money didn't just vanish, it was injected directly into Somalia's war-torn coastal towns. Pirates used the funds to pay off debts, build new homes, and support their extended families, creating a shadow economy that, in a strange way, fueled local life. Of course, this came at a terrible price of violence and corruption, further destabilizing the region. Back home, pirates were seen in a complex light, not just as criminals, but sometimes as defenders who stood up to foreign exploitation when no one else would. Ultimately, the crisis forced the world to look beyond the pirates and see the real problem. Somalia itself, a failed state with no government, no law, and rampant poverty, was the root cause. The international community realized that naval patrols were just a band-aid. The only long-term solution was to help Somalia rebuild. This meant supporting the creation of a stable government, establishing a legitimate coast guard, and fostering economic development to give young men an alternative to crime. It was a harsh lesson that local problems in a failed state can quickly spiral into a global security and economic crisis. Through years of international cooperation, naval escorts, and efforts to rebuild Somalia from within, piracy attacks have dramatically decreased. The threat has been managed, but it hasn't completely disappeared. The story of the Somali pirates is a powerful reminder of how environmental destruction, poverty, and state collapse can have far-reaching consequences. It's not just a tale of crime on the high seas. It's a story about survival, global interconnectedness, and the human cost of a broken world. Thanks for watching. If you found this story compelling, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more deep dives into the stories that shape our world.